Bridge Tower. With Bay Area traffic, I'm Rick Batiste on the Black Information Network.
Your story is our story.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. The search continues for a new police chief in Oakland. The last public forum regarding the position was held over the weekend. About 36 people showed up to let officials know what they wanted to see in the city's next top cop. Many residents complain crime in Oakland is becoming rampant, and they want someone who's going to bring increasing crime numbers to a halt. Oakland has been without a police chief since the mayor fired African-American ex-chief of police, LaRon Armstrong, 7 months ago. And Bay Area dock workers are trying to lend a helping hand to those who've lost everything in the Maui wildfires. Dock workers have been taking donations of everything from clothes to toys to pet food and toiletries to send to those in need in Hawaii. The goal is to fill a massive container, which will then pass through the port of Oakland to get to Maui in about 2 weeks' time. Anyone who would like to donate to the cause can drop off their items at North Point and Mason in San Francisco through this coming Friday. And San Francisco federal workers are being advised to work from home for the foreseeable future. The Nancy Pelosi Federal Building in San Francisco is home to a wide range of essential offices, including the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the U.S. Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Transportation, and the Office of Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi. The San Francisco Chronicle is reporting that the Department of Health and Human Services issued the work from home advisory due to unsafe conditions around the building itself, citing the fact that the area is home to an open-air drug market and is often frequented by people who purchase drugs and get high, socialize, and pass out. This directive comes as President Biden and Mayor London Breed are calling for federal employees to return to in-person work after several years of working remotely. Plus, in other news, local taxis can now offer rides in San Francisco around the clock. These San Franciscans have mixed feelings about the service.
I wouldn't go say that for you. Because it's like, oh, it's unpredictable. You never know what could happen. I would because of the experience, but I'd be scared.
Alphabet's Waymo and GM's Cruise got approval from officials. The cars have been somewhat controversial, and a 6-hour public comment session saw many objections from officials and residents. The vehicles sometimes have caused traffic jams and in some cases gotten in the way of public transportation, construction, and even first responders. There are no limits to the size of the fleet.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
And how many robo-taxis they'll release.
I feel like I trust the technology, so I don't think I'd be that nervous.
I don't trust that I know driver. Trust myself.
Members of the disabled community have expressed concerns because of so many unknowns. And that's a look at what's going on around the Bay Area. For more on these stories and international, national, state, and local news affecting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
African-American patients only have a 25% chance of finding a bone marrow match. Make a difference and join the National Bone Marrow Registry at bethematch.org. That's bethematch.org.
Because trust matters.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area, BIN 910.
Heavily based on soul music, but incorporating elements ranging from funk, jazz, fusion, hip-hop, and African to electronic and pop. The term neo-soul emerged in the 90s as a way to define and market a soul movement which had been underway since the 80s. With artists like D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, and Maxwell all having success, industry execs found it necessary to classify the genre.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
Change lanes. Not how you change lanes, but rich people, the worst kind of people.
Like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder, neo soul tried to look backward and forward. Neo soul has expanded and diversified with contributions from a new generation. This is Damo Cologne for the Black Information Network.
story or just want to leave us some feedback? Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN.
Bringing you the stories that matter.
Almost all pharmacists say they're experiencing drug shortages.
24/7. Ohio voters are sending a clear message to lawmakers. They don't want to make it harder to amend the state's constitution.
If it's important to the black community, 14-year-old Iris Perez and 15-year-old Tamara Perez, two sisters that have been missing since June 28th in northern Michigan.
It's on the Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app.
Released in 1995, Ngozi Onwara's Welcome to the Terrordome was the first theatrically distributed British feature film directed by a black woman. Inspired by Public Enemy's song of the same name, the movie is part after futurism, part political cinema, part Greek tragedy. Welcome to the Terrordome! The Terrordome is set in the past and the future of enslaved people on a beach and a misfired family trying to navigate life in a state-sanctioned slum, where all blacks are forced to live and where police brutalize inhabitants while ensuring all guns and drugs stay in the Terrordome. Onwara's unflinching and unapologetic view of race relations and how little is changed was out of step with the 90s movie establishment. Variety called it a low-budget spitball of militant black grandstanding. When made on a shoestring budget over the course of 3 years, Welcome to the Terrordome is now seen as a grainy, gritty, angry, and not totally inaccurate commentary that was a quarter of a century ahead of its time, making it another essential black film. I'm Weston Tishome for the Black Information Network.
Your news at the sound of your voice. Tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network station on iHeartRadio. The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees. Now it's time to bring the funk with Roland and Smarty.
A lot of folks have been up in arms with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over their decision to redefine black history. Now, some black Floridians have decided to open freedom schools, reminiscent of the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s. I have long maintained the importance of freedom schools. It has always amazed me to listen to African Americans say, they're not teaching our kids this and that. Well, the reality is that's always been the case. So they've never taught our children what they needed to learn. So therefore, we should never trust this particular school system to do what's right. We're going to be demanding of a system that has always oppressed us to actually teach us the real history, which includes their oppression. Nah, I'm good with that. And so, when we talk about these freedom schools, you must understand that the such thing has always been there. As I said, I've spoken in many of my speeches for years about the need to have freedom schools. Well, one day I was on the train from New York City to Washington, D.C., and Mary Wright Edelman, the founder of the Children's Defense Fund, happened to be on the train, and we sat next to each other, and she began to tell me about, hey, Roland, I'd love to have you come out to talk to our summer session of the freedom school. I was like, what are you talking about? Did not realize the Children's Defense Fund, they have been doing that freedom school training for a number of years. And so it's still there. Black folks, we cannot wait for others to teach our children what we should be teaching them. That's why freedom schools must be mandatory in our communities nationwide. I'm Roland Martin with the Black Information Network.
Because truth matters.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Esther Dillard. Here's what's trending on the Black Information Network. Attorneys are aiming to make Hawaiian Electric pay for the Maui disaster. At least 2 class action lawsuits have been filed against the company and its Maui Electric Company subsidiary.
Sports on the Black Information Network. A host of NFL quarterbacks were in action over the weekend, including rookies Bryce Young from the Panthers, Anthony Richardson from the Colts, and C.J. Stroud from the Texans. They all struggled. 2 preseason games remain on the schedule for each team, starting this Thursday night as the Browns and Eagles go head-to-head. The Packers quarterback Jordan Love says it was nice to sit on the bench and learn behind Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
I mean, that's what I've been working for. That's what moment I've been waiting for. So, yeah, I mean, in those 3 years, it's a lot of growing and learning and just developing. And those 3 years were, very helpful. Just be able to sit back and watch somebody else do it, be able to learn and grow your game and understand the offense, and just learn the little ins and outs that you wouldn't be able to have, starting your rookie year. They're definitely very valuable.
The defending NBA champions will kick off the 2023-2024 season. The Nuggets will host LeBron and the Lakers on October 24th in Denver. The teams will open the season after meeting in the Western Conference Finals back in May. Also on the schedule for opening night includes the Golden State Warriors hosting the Phoenix Suns in San Francisco. Kevin Durant returns to the Bay Area, while Chris Paul faces off with the Suns for the first time since being traded. Equal sports at 14 and 44 past each and every hour. I'm Ray Harris on the Black Information Network.
I'm Cali Code with another essential black film. Released in 2002 to critical acclaim, Drumline follows the story of a young black drummer from Harlem, New York, who heads to college to join a HBCU marching band in Atlanta, Georgia.
I just thought I had a little something on the end.
Although fictional in account, the film offers viewers a revealing look into the culture and traditions of historically black colleges, along with some of the unique challenges black students face while seeking higher education.
You have to learn to follow before you can lead, Mr. Miles.
Starring Nick Cannon as drummer Devin Miles, Orlando Jones.